Hey Steelers Nation, the Pittsburgh Steelers are doing everything they can to elevate this team to championship-level land that includes making tough decisions, bold moves, and exploring all options. So if you're a fan who appreciates the grind, the front office strategy, and all the behind-the-scenes drama that fuels this franchise, go ahead and smash that like button. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel for exclusive Steelers news every single week. Now let's dive into what might be the most nerve-wracking story of the offseason so far. The TJ Watt trade buzz that just won't go away. We're now just over 10 days away from training camp, and the Pittsburgh Steelers still haven't locked in a new deal for their superstar pass rusher, TJ Watt. The former Defensive Player of the Year is entering the final year of his contract, and negotiations for an extension have hit a serious wall. And now, the whispers have grown into something louder. A potential trade. Let's be clear, there has been no official report that the Steelers are actively shopping Watt. But let's break down the language. NFL insider Mike Florio of Pro Football Talk recently pointed out that while Pittsburgh says they have no intention of trading Watt, that's very different from saying they absolutely will not trade him. Florio believes the Steelers are doing what he calls due diligence, gauging the league, checking Watt's trade value, and understanding what the market looks like. That's been confirmed by Steelers insider Mark Kaboly, who said on the Pat McAfee show that Omar Khan is quietly checking the temperature. Kaboly made it clear this isn't about getting rid of Watt, it's about being prepared, knowing what's out there in case negotiations don't go the way the team hopes. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Watt started his holdout right before OT. Around that time, Myles Garrett received a monster contract from the Browns for years, $160 million, with over $120 million guaranteed. Watt reportedly wants something similar, but the Steelers, they're waiting. They want to see what happens, with Trey Hendrickson in Cincinnati and Micah Parsons in Dallas, before committing big money. According to Kaboly and Gary Dulac, the Steelers view Watt's contract ceiling as somewhere below Garrett's. Now, here's the hard truth. Watt's production has slightly dipped. He finished 2024 with 11.5 sacks, his lowest total outside of his injury shortened, and he turns 31 in October. That has the front office thinking about long-term value. So now the question becomes, if the Steelers were to trade Watt, who are the most realistic suitors? The Bills are a top-tier contender with one glaring issue pass rush, with Von Miller gone and Joey Bosa already injured. Buffalo needs a difference-maker on the edge. TJ Watt would instantly transform their defense into one of the league's most feared units. Imagine Watt lined up opposite Greg Rousseau, with Matt Milano backing them up at linebacker. That's a terrifying combination for opposing quarterbacks. The Bills came this close to beating Kansas City in the AFC Championship last season. Watt might be the missing piece to get over that hump. Here's a juicy wonder Chargers just lost Joey Bosa to Buffalo. Their defense is in a bit of a rebuild, and adding TJ Watt would instantly stabilize the front seven. New head coach Jim Harbaugh has already brought in Najee Harris, extended Khalil Mack, and rebuilt the offensive line. Now, if they land Watt, this team becomes a serious playoff threat. Watt would give the Chargers an immediate leader on defense and help Harbaugh instill a gritty physical identity. And don't forget, they have cap space and draft assets to make this happen. Talk about a dark horse. The Commanders have something special brewing with rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels and head coach Dan Quinn, but their defense is still a step behind. Even with Frankie Louvu, Washington's Dialine lacks the star power of teams like the Eagles or Lions. Watt would give them instant credibility, leadership, and championship-level production. Quinn, a former defensive coordinator, would love the opportunity to unleash Watt in his hybrid schemes. It's not just about on-field performance, it's about setting a tone. Watt could do for the Commanders what Khalil Mack once did for the Bears, transform the culture overnight. That's the big unknown. Kaboly believes a second-round pick is the likely price. But if a bidding war breaks out between contenders, Pittsburgh could push that price higher. The truth is, Watt's reputation exceeds his current production. But that still carries major value in the trade market. And as harsh as it sounds, the Steelers might already have the in-house depth to survive life after Watt. Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, and rookie Jack Sawyer make up a solid trio. They're young, explosive, and on much cheaper contracts. And speaking of moves that didn't happen, here's one more nugget from this offseason that's now resurfacing. Fullback Kyle Juszczyk, one of the NFL's most versatile offensive weapons, visited Pittsburgh this spring when he hit free agency. He met with Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith and genuinely considered the opportunity. In his own words, "I felt a lot of love from them. I got excited about what possibly could be. I genuinely enjoyed my time with Arthur Smith and Mike Tomlin. I have so much respect for those guys." But ultimately, he couldn't leave San Francisco. The Steelers could have used him, no doubt. Their run game has struggled in recent years, and his elite blocking would have been a massive help for Aaron Rodgers. But in the end, Juszczyk resigned with the 49ers, citing comfort and loyalty as the deciding factors. Just another example of how close Pittsburgh was to landing another difference-maker. How determined this front office is to upgrade every unit. The Pittsburgh Steelers head into 2025 with a new quarterback under center. But not just any quarterback. It's Aaron Rodgers, a four-time NFL MVP and future Hall of Famer. And based on his most recent comments, it sounds like he's not just visiting, he's investing in what could be his final ride in the NFL. During an interview with the Golf Channel at the American Century Championship, Rodgers opened up about his transition to Pittsburgh, and his words were exactly what Steelers fans needed to hear. "Well, I just like the newness of it all," Rodgers said. "I'm excited about being at such a great franchise with the Hall of Fame head coach, and I've enjoyed getting to know Arthur Smith, our coordinator. The quarterback coach actually was in my quarterback room a million years ago. I've known Tom Arth since we were young kids without any gray. So it's fun." Let's pause there. Did you catch that? Rodgers didn't say this is just business. He used the word fun. That's not something you often hear from a 41-year-old quarterback entering his 21st NFL season. That's a guy who's refreshed. That's a guy who feels alive again. That's a guy who believes this team is special. In Steelers Nation, that matters. A Hall of Fame coach, familiar faces, and a new chapter. Rodgers made it clear. One of the biggest reasons he feels good about being in Pittsburgh is the coaching staff. Mike Tomlin is one of the most respected leaders in football, and Rodgers mentioned how energized he feels working under his guidance. But he also highlighted his early connection with Arthur Smith, the new offensive coordinator known for building creative, balanced defenses, add in quarterbacks coach Tom Arth, a guy Rodgers has history with, and what you get is something he hasn't had in a long time: trust. That trust in the coaching staff can make all the difference in a quarterback's rhythm. Confidence and ability to lead, Rodgers went on to say, it's a good quarterback room. It's good leadership in the locker room, great fan base, and I'm just excited to get back out there and finish it the right way. And that's the quote that really tells the story. Finish it the right way. This isn't just one more season for Rodgers. This is about writing the final chapter on his terms with the right team, the right coaches, and maybe, just maybe, the right ending. The Steelers are ready to maximize this moment. Rodgers' excitement is contagious. It sends a signal throughout the locker room that the standard is rising again. And let's not forget, this team went 1-7 last season with a rotating cast of quarterbacks and made the postseason. Now they've added one of the greatest signal callers of all time to a team that already has talent on both sides of the ball. The wide receiver room has taken hits. George Pickens is gone, but DK Metcalf is in, and Rodgers now has a legitimate WR1 with size, speed, and attitude. He's also got a young, versatile backfield that includes Jaylen Warren and rookie Caleb Johnson, a rebuilt offensive line, and a coaching staff finally unified behind one quarterback. This isn't just about X's and O's. It's about tone, culture, identity. For the first time in years, the Steelers are walking into a season with certainty under center. That gives the entire roster stability, and it allows Tomlin and Arthur Smith to fully unlock this playbook. A small window, but a real one. Let's be real. Rodgers is 41. His Achilles injury in 2023 raised red flags, and the Jets' disappointing 2024 campaign showed how fragile success can be in the NFL. But Rodgers looks healthy now. He sounds mentally sharp and emotionally dialed in. This is likely his last season. But it doesn't feel like a farewell tour. It feels like a mission to prove the doubters wrong, a mission to end his career on his terms, and a mission to bring something back to Pittsburgh that's been missing for far too long, a true chance at a Super Bowl. If the Steelers get peak Rodgers even for 1 year, they instantly become one of the most dangerous teams in the AFC. The combination of Rodgers' experience and Tomlin's leadership is rare. Add in Metcalf, a hungry defense, and a fresh offensive system, and you've got the recipe for a team that can go toe-to-toe with Kansas City, Buffalo, or Baltimore. Steelers fans, it's time to believe. Again, the last few seasons have been full of questions. Will Pickett develop? Can the offense score? Who's really leading this team? But with Aaron Rodgers in Pittsburgh, those questions are being replaced with answers and expectations. The challenge now falls on the Steelers' front office and coaching staff. Don't waste this opportunity. Rodgers is in. He's ready to lead, mentor, and compete. Pittsburgh needs to match that energy, whether it's giving him the right weapons, protecting him up front, or crafting game plans that play to his strengths. This is Rodgers' ride, but it's Pittsburgh's journey to Steelers Nation. We're in the middle of a high-stakes game of chess between TJ Watt and the front office. Will he get his deal before Week 1? Will the Steelers pull the trigger on a trade, or will both sides come to their senses and find a middle ground? What do you think? Should the Steelers pay Watt like the top edge rusher in the NFL? Or is it smarter to flip him for assets and go younger? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's get this debate going, Steelers fans only. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update as training camp approaches. Here we go, Steelers Nation. Buckle up.